Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with 5-4 season 3 episode 14 and 15 reaction. Two episodes reaction. I've been lagging by quite a bit because I was out of station, I wasn't here, and then after coming back I didn't get time to properly catch up to it. But two episodes this week, two episodes next week, and I think I'll be all caught up. I'm I think so. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, I'm going to react to episode number 14 and 15 today. Both the episode reaction I'll do one after the other, and then I'll talk about it at the end. Now, before I begin, few changes from in my channel. If you have watched the other videos, the update videos that I posted, because of some problems, my channel got copyright striked, and it's a very difficult situation. So from here onwards I've decided to not put the subtitles as well, so that I can counter notify and be like, yeah, this is my video, this doesn't contain anything from any other sources. I will have that power to do that, even though it's I just showed a subtitle. Still, there is that is kind of a loophole. So I'm just sealing that loophole as well. So yeah, unfortunately, the timer will only be given here, so you have to sync the timer to the video and watch it alongside me. And obviously the discussion section will be there, so but yeah, that's what's going to happen. All the other videos have been privated by me unless and until the copyright strikes go away. I'm not unprivating them, just in case. So yeah, that's the situation. Anyways, yeah, let's get started. Episode number 14 first. Let's begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Not the subtitles, goddamn. The timer here only. Sync it to the video that you'll be watching alongside me. And yeah, let us get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. 9 years ago. Hmm? Right. Hmm. True. Okay, so is this supposed to be their boss that we're gonna see? Yeah, this is the guy we saw at the end of Asakusa Ohibachi. Yeah, in the opening he's also there. Interesting. Yeah, this guy. Hmm. With the sun at his back. Oh, right. For instance, right. Yeah. Yep. Oh my god. Another pillar. Two. Huh. Yeah, I was gonna say, aren't we wanted? Presence of a giant. What in the hell? Has not been confirmed. Oh, it's him. Yeah, it's their boss. Right. Yo. Yeah, this is personal business now. Well, it's personal. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Well, it is the great cataclysm, so. Yep. Right. It's just standing there or floating there. Right. Oh boy. Oh damn. This is crazy. Yeah. Hmm. Shimon Hibachi. Okay. Oh boy, it's just yeah from hell. Yeah, we need to know that. We still don't know how he knucklehead. Damn, it is already. Oh, are these two those two twins? I just realized. Hmm. Damn. Will not again. Hmm. True. Hmm. And we're back to the present. Oh no, wait. You didn't say enough. Hmm. That a god takes the responsibility. Yeah. Right. Damn, and that's why he's saying that, like Benimaru should be the one to realize. Hmm. And understand the weight of his actions. Oh, literally. Okay. He's probably eavesdropping. I can 100% guarantee you this. Let's wait and see. Oh, never mind. And usually in these type of situations, they're eavesdropping. Oh, hmm. Yeah, but some amount of people, he, yeah. Oh, Asakusa Hikeshi. All of them, right. That makes sense. 9,000 is a lot of people. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh no. Oh, it's him. I thought he was gonna do something. Well, you won't understand unless and until you stand in the same place. Hmm. Repentant. Oh, there we go. Back here again. Right. Damn, the animation. Oh, yo. Damn. Hey. Ah, this is. Yeah, it looks a bit different. It looks like painting, right? Bruh, that is crazy. Hmm. Oh, that's what's. And that's what's making him this strong? Right. Hmm. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh. It's a moonlight, right? Oh, damn. Oh boy. Yeah, he's not gonna go down. Yep. Oh boy. Right. Right, yeah. For them, like, fire and, like, it's like a festival. Like, death is like a. Right. Oh, here we go. Oh! Oh, damn! Right. Oh! Akatsuki. Yep. Bathed in the light of the sun, moon grows even more crimson. Right. Right. Oh! Yeah. Yeah, but as you said, that is the only person who could, like, take leadership of. Yeah. Mm. Right. Okay, what in the hell? What is this? What? Okay, you know what? Let's wait and see. Like, what's up with the Soul Eater moon? Oh, I just realized in the previous season, not season, but the previous part, we had the ARG, like, the allies, all of their characters. Now we have the enemies in the ending. From so it's like both the sides. It was Shinra on the other side. It's Hamia on this side. And yeah, and she's like from a toddler, she's like growing up. Yeah, both those pictures like come together to become like okay. All right, and there you go. That was episode number 14. All right, I'm going to react to episode 15 and then I'm going to talk about both the episodes. Right. Okay, episode number 15. I'll put the timer over here, sync it to the original video and watch alongside my reaction. So, let's get started. Here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, we're back with this intro. Hmm. Right. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully we get some explanation. Yeah, so it was pretty obvious that this moon is related to the Adola. Yeah. Okay, man. Yeah. Yeah, if the moon suddenly started laughing and smiling. Yeah. Yeah, true. He's undercover. Yo, stop. All right. Yeah, can you explain? So it's the like way people perceive them. Yeah, so it's how people perceive them. Or no, wait. The image that other people have of that person. Okay. What? What? Okay. Aggregation of people's image of things. People's images of the world with the world itself. Yeah. What? Oh. No, wait. Are they trying to reach a world beyond death or something? Yeah, so if it's beyond that. No, wait, what? Hmm. Hmm. Oh no. Eh? Oh, Coronas. Hmm. That colossal like thing. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Bruh. What? Okay. Episode 15. Birth. Yeah, what in the Yeah. Okay. No, stop it. Okay. Okay, I guess. Oh yeah, that's also true. Oh, well, yeah, I guess. Hmm. Mari Kusakabe. Kabe. What? What? Um, yeah, what? Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. He's probably just already. Yeah. Okay. Or he didn't come to the. Hmm. So we. What? Wait. What in the? What's going on here? Yeah. Okay. Um. Right. Oh. Yeah. Where's that film? Yeah. Oh my God. Right. And now Shaw will be pissed off. Yeah. Oh. So why are you blabbering all of this now? The whole. That is crazy. Okay, I was not expecting this at all. Turned into a devil. Oh, wait, the dollar? Yeah. Oh, this is the mother, right? Okay, well, this went in a direction which I never would have imagined. Like, what is going on? 17 years earlier. Yeah. Marik Sakabe. Right. Mm. Well, we know. Ah, boy. Oh my god. Wait, what? So Shinra was born here, I'm guessing. Oh, there you go. Wrapped in. Damn. Because of the. Okay, so she'll have show after this as well, right? Those are legend. Okay. Right. Sometimes forget the world before the Great Cataclysm was our world. Wait, so is Sho supposed to be the angel? Because everyone calls him the angel while everyone calls Shinra the devil. Oh, is this where the Oh, okay. I thought the church is going to get involved. Bro, they did the tests. Oh, is this why he became a devil? Because people's perception on the right. Okay, so this is why people called him the because how are realizing that like the perception of people is what makes it go closer to the Adola. Or no, wait. Yeah. Okay. So Joe was born. Right. There we go. Collection of humanity's imaginings once before in the past. Assume cover. Oh, is that why? Oh, I see. So that's why she was. It's the image of the savior. What in the hell? I'll talk about this later. I am realizing what's going on now. Yeah, he's the hero of the world. No, it's because people, because yeah, that is true. Like, why did people not say bad things? Damn. Yep, we have the information now. Right. Eight. Hmm. Yeah, hero. Okay, right. You know what? I need to arrange my thoughts now. There's a few things I think I understand what's going on, but I need to properly arrange it for it to make sense. Like, a lot of things are revolving around people's perceptions and what people imagined, which happened even before the Great Cataclysm, and it's happening now again. So it's not only from one side, it's from the other side as well. When the world was before the Great Cataclysm, yeah, okay, you know what? Let the ending and I'll talk about it. I need to like arrange my thoughts now because I feel like they gave a big hint today. There's still a few things that I don't understand. For example, the reason why Sho was not ever like like persecuted like Shinra was, like the reason I don't understand, because like he had the same potential of being a hero, right? Like, I'm thinking this is the reason why they made Shinra into a devil, is the church's conspiracy, because they realized that he had the potential to change the world. That's why they gave these type of, I don't know, like these type of like like things and made him into a devil. But okay, but that holds the same for Show as well, right? But then why did they? Okay, you know what? There's still, like I said, there's still a few things that I feel like they'll probably explain better later on. But from a few things, that was revealed today, I need to arrange my thoughts. First and foremost, I'll talk about episode 13 later. Sorry, episode 14 later. Let me talk about episode 15 first. Because, now that the information is fresh in my head, I need to understand a few things. Episode 14 was more like Benimaru, like, related. So I'll talk about that later. Let's talk about this episode first. First and foremost, few information we got here, which kind of cleared up a few things. Number one, the world reach going closer to the Adola means it's going closer to the way we imagine or how we perceive certain things. For example, the doppelganger that we fought of Benimaru's, teacher, the leader, he, as Konoro said, that in no way he would have been able to be as strong as Benimaru or be fighting him that closely because his power was nowhere near the current Benimaru. So the reason why he was able to go toe to toe with Den Benimaru is because that's how the people look up to him. They are like, yeah, this was our leader. He's this strong. That's why his power. So it's based on how people perceive. That's how the anything related to the Adola is. That's how it is. Anything related to the Adola is. So that's why the leader, I forgot his name, he was that strong. That is also the reason why the moon looks like this, because apparently this is how people perceive the moon to be. Now, I don't understand why, because if before the great cataclysm the world was supposed to be our world, why this moon? Shouldn't it be the our moon, the original moon? Because I feel like that's what they're doing, right? They clearly told us the world before the great cataclysm is our world. By our world, I mean the real world, this world, people like us. That is insane. So shouldn't the people here perceive the moon like that? Then why this moon? Now, this is making me think. You remember how there was a certain panel before in one of the previous episodes of season 3 where they showed like Shinra on a manga panel, as a sketch and all of that. I'm thinking maybe, like, this is what I'm thinking, like maybe a lot of people's collective thoughts, like, it's not how people perceive the real world to be, but it's how people perceive certain entities. So like maybe the majority of the people perceived the moon like this because they read it in a manga. Is like, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's why the moon looks like this. Maybe it's just that, like, here's a hypothetical scenario. Maybe in the before the great cataclysm, it was our world, people like us. That's what Shinra saw, right? People like us, like, like moving around, and he was like, what are those people? They look like us, but they are so different. They look like aliens, which is true, obviously, because anime characters and us real human beings are very different. Physically, like, like appearance wise and everything. So that's why he was like confused, he was mind blown. And that is also where we saw those manga panels with Shinra and everything, with Shinra and like a lot of other stuff. Now, this is what I'm thinking. The world before the great cataclysm was our normal world, and maybe over there, like, there was a certain manga called Soul Eater, which was so popular that a lot of people kind of, I don't know, like, kind of imagined the world like that or something. Maybe that's why a lot of the things from Soul Eater are kind of coming here, because that's how people perceive or something. I don't know. But at the same time, we have to also understand this, that the people who lived before the Great Cataclysm and the people who live now after the Great Cataclysm are different. So, how does that work? I don't know. Like, I feel like they have given us a lot of hints, but at the same time, there's still something missing, which is why we're not able to properly piece the puzzle together. Either way, the biggest information that was given today was that how people perceive this world is how the Adola reflects it. And apparently this is how people perceive the moon to be. This means, okay, I'm going to read this part. Okay, so what is the clear? Okay, okay, doppelgangers are entities that reflect the image that other people have of the person. So how people perceive that person to be. Yeah. Which also kind of makes sense why, like, like Shinra's doppelganger acted like that. If you remember, when he was out of commission completely, he acted in a very weird way as if he's a devil, because that's how people perceive him to be. Okay. uh and the odd moon is also made from the images that people have of it. Here you go. Okay, you know what, now here's another interesting thing that I'm thinking. He's saying that people made from images that people have of it. Just think about it like this. When people tell you to draw the moon, how do you draw the moon? Obviously, you do not draw the moon in a realistic way, right? You just make like a crescent moon, or sometimes make a little bit of a smiley face into it or something. Maybe that's why, like, all those different way of people perceive the moon to be kind of got reflected like that into this world, right? Yeah, that's also possible. And that's why it looks like the Soul Eater moon. Um, the source of both is Arola. Arola's true form is likely the aggregation of people's images of things. Right. So, according to the Arola, the great cataclysm that interferes with the patterns of the world, the great cataclysm is merging people's images of the world with the world itself. This line explains a lot about why the world before us was the original world and after the great cataclysm is this world. You see, as he says, the great cataclysm is merging of people's images of the world with the world itself. Before the great cataclysm, it was us human beings. So, think about it. After the great cataclysm, if it is merging with people's images of the world with the world itself, back then what the people that lived there, like us human beings, their view of the world were probably in a lot of way in a more imaginary way, because like, to be honest, I feel like a lot of people's imaginations go into a more like fantasical direction, like, oh, the moon looks like this, oh, like stuff like that. So that's why this whole world became a freaking anime, because that's how people perceive the world to be in their head, like, and since the it merged people's images of the world with the world itself, it became this world. And now that we're going back, there's another great cataclysm happening. How the people here perceive the world is going to get reflected. You know, so I think so. Okay. But the White Claw's objective is to return the world to. Okay, now here's another interesting thing that they bring up. So they're like, yeah, they're going to get the world, merge the world with the fire. They return the world to the fire. What's up with that then? If it's merging of people's imaginations, okay, Arula is a collection of humanity's imaginings. If what lies beyond humanity's imagining is the white clad's goal, right? Beyond them, okay. That okay, so I can understand what they're trying to say here, but at the same time, it still doesn't make sense. So they're saying because like people's imagination ends after they die, obviously, like that's the like people do not know what is death. You can ask any person, I'm pretty sure they won't be able to tell you what death is. They'll be able to say like, oh yeah, death is like, like maybe like a scientific way, maybe like an imaginary way, but nobody has experienced death, because if you have experienced death, you're dead. You cannot speak, you cannot say, you cannot share your experience. Death is the end. Nobody knows what is death and what comes beyond it, and that's where people's imaginations end. And the white clad is wanting to go to a world beyond the people's imagination, so death. That's why I said while reacting, are they trying to go beyond death or something? Like, what is happening here? But still, I don't understand here. Like, how will merging people's imagination into this new world after the great cataclysm make people go beyond death? Because I don't know. Okay, so Hmm. Now we see a lady being, like completely like just human combustion, like happening. A lot of people like, just burning. We see all human images end in death, right? Yeah, like I said, if that's true, it lines up with the white clad's objective. Nah, I don't know. I still don't understand the white clad's like logic here because yeah, obviously people's imaginations end with death. But people like what are they even trying to do here? Like at the same time, like it's not that I don't know. This part still doesn't make sense to me because as they mentioned, the great cataclysm is the merging of people's imagination and how they perceive the world to be with the world, right? So obviously death is also there, but how are the white clad like thinking that, oh, that will mean that they'll all like that this will destroy the world because that's where the imaginations end. No, I don't understand. I feel like there's still something I'm missing here, or maybe that it is a different way of looking at it, and I'm not able to look at it in that way. Either way, I understand what they're trying to say here, but logically, I cannot put it together still. Like the White Clad's goal here. If this world fuses with Adola, world will be destroyed. How? That's what I'm trying to say. Like yeah, like death is obviously the end of someone's imagination, but that's obviously not everyone will just die after the cataclysm, right? Because if that's the case, then shouldn't that have happened as well after the first great cataclysm? Or maybe that's what actually happened, all the people died and these type of people, maybe. Hmm. Because obviously in this world, in this anime, we don't see original human beings walking around, right? They were the people from back before the great cataclysm. So all of them died and these new people were born based on people's collective consciousness, I guess, like how they perceive the world to be. You know what, yeah, I think that's what it is. And that's what they're doing here as well. After the great cataclysm, everyone here will die and new life will be born, where which will be based on these people's version of the. Oh wait, does Soul Eater happen after this? I just realized. Yeah, that would make so much sense. Don't spoil me, but I have a because you see this moon, like as I'm saying, um, if the great cataclysm happens and everyone here dies, and then new people will be born, they will be based on these people's version of the way they perceive the world to be. And since this is how they perceive the moon to be, all the people from Soul Eater I think comes after this. So Soul Eater happens, I think there's a high possibility Soul Eater happens after this great cataclysm, if everyone dies here or something happens here, because that would make sense. That is why the moon looks like this. Because I was thinking that Soul Eater happens before this or something, and that's why the moon is here. No, Soul Eater happens after this. And that's why the moon looks like this. This moon is going to go to the new world. Because that's how people perceive it to be. So here's what I think. First version of the world was us, we human beings, you know, our normal world. Great cataclysm happened. We all died. But the way we perceived the world to be became the new world and the new human beings, which is this world. Now, these people are on the verge of having another great cataclysm. The great cataclysm will happen, they will all die, and then a new world will come where, not new world, but new people will be born who will be these people's way they perceive the world to be. And the way these people perceive the world to be, one thing we already have, which is the moon, which looks like this, the Soul Eater moon. That would mean this Soul Eater moon would be there for the next version of the world and the next version of people. which means the next version of the people are the Soul Eater people. The Soul Eater happens after this, I think. But at the same time, we still don't know how this is going to conclude. This story is going to conclude. I'm saying that everyone will die here, but I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe someone still will be alive. Maybe, like something like that will happen. We'll see. Because I don't know. I just don't see them ending a show by killing everyone. In no way is that happening. I'm sure something will happen. But either way, I think I'm on the right track now. Okay, you know what? This makes a lot of sense now. The moon, at least the moon makes a lot of sense now. Why the moon looks like the Soul Eater moon? Because Soul Eater happens after this, not I was thinking Soul Eater happens before this, up until now. No, it happens after this. That would make a lot of things like make sense and fit into the proper puzzle piece. Anyways, I'll just keep this in mind because I think this is what's happening. Either way, so yeah, that's what's going on. Now, this is also the reason why, as we get to know, the reason why Shinra's mother had a virgin birth. Because obviously in our world we have we have Jesus Christ and all those things. That is why those stories and the way people thought about all of that, that got transferred to this world, which is the Fire Force world, where Shinra's mother became that person, and Shinra was born without any man. Like, that's what's happening. They tell us over here, this part. Where's that part? I'm no expert, but after the Great Cataclysm, there was a legend. There you go. Also, I'm just assuming that everyone from the before the Great Cataclysm is dead. Maybe there's still people alive who's just hiding somewhere. Like people like us, just underground, deep underground, just hiding somewhere or something. Maybe those people are spreading these legends and everything. It's possible. Like I said, after the end of the Great Cataclysm in Fire Force, there's not 100% guarantee that everyone will die or something. But I think a new world will be born, which will be the Soul Eater world. That's why the moon has already manifested. Okay. A certain woman fell pregnant before having sex with her husband. It is a story about a virgin birth, and the woman was told about her pregnancy by a messenger of God, an angel. The story goes that the child she bore would save the world and became the hero. Okay, so here's another thing that is Sho supposed to be that angel? Because they're showing like the wings and everything, and everyone calls him an angel, and that's why he's like, I have to make sure to make people understand that my brother is a hero. He's not the devil. Yeah, I think so. Oh wow. Because that's how like people perceived a lot of things, that this was like a legend, as they say, and that's why it became true here, because that's what this is about. The Great Cataclysm brings people's thoughts and how people perceive the world to the new world, which is this world. So Shinra's mom became that person, and Shinra became that hero, and Sho probably was that angel. But she also gave birth to that angel as well, right? So that's, I don't understand that part. Anyways, okay. The story goes that the child she bore would save the world and become a hero. Okay. So I'm the mother of a hero, huh? It's not a bad story, right? Okay, so this part. Okay, where's that other section? Okay, so Sho says, this is my mother's memories of my older brother, my mother, and me. Okay, Great Cataclysm has happened once before in the past, which means the world that exists now has incorporated images from humans of the past. In the world before the Great Cataclysm of the past, there was a legend passed down about a child of virgin birth who saved the world. We all know. That is the image they had of it. And that became reality here in this world as well. And Shinra's mother became that person, and Shinra became that hero. But Shinra's image was tarnished by all these other people, and that's why they. Okay, now this brings me to the next part. of the speculation or theory that I'm thinking is that this is the reason why, as we got to know, the people from the church decided to interfere, and they completely like just hushed everyone into about this whole situation about the virgin birth, and kind of like gave Shinra's mother a bad reputation and made Shinra be like a kind of like, like these type of like bad things they kind of spread, where Shinra became a devil. you know they did this because they knew that otherwise Shinra would save the world. But as we know, in the great cataclysm, what people think or what people perceive a person to be, that becomes reality. They didn't want that. If Shinra had like the perception of how, if people perceive Shinra to be a hero after the great cataclysm, someone who like a hero would be born, who probably would like just destroy all the plans of the bad people, like of the evil people, like something like that. They didn't want that. That's why they deliberately tarnish Shinra's image to make him into a devil. Because that's how people, if that's how people perceive him to be, he will become a devil. Because that's what, the great cataclysm is, making people's perception come true. This is what I think. That's why they did this. Now I might be wrong, but let's wait and see. And now obviously shows like my old brother Shinra Kisagabe has the image of a savior created by the people from before the last great cataclysm imprinted on him. Yeah, okay. My brother isn't a hero to just me and my mom. He's a hero of the world. Yeah, and then he says that, but then why? Okay, now this is also another good question I have. Like I said, why did people start calling my brother a devil? That I understand. Like I said, I think this is why they did that, so that they, like can take out a potential threat. But this is also something that I don't understand. And I was a virgin birth as well. So what am I? This question. Now, like I said, I think he's supposed to be the angel who, like, like informs people, as he says, that, I will make people understand that my brother is not that devil. And, he has a lot of angel, like, kind of characteristics. Like, we literally saw at the end, like, he has, like, wings and everything. And people call him an angel and everything. So, yeah, I think that's what he's. But then there's and again, there's another question that I have, which is, so Shina's mom also gave birth to him. What's up with that then? He's also a virgin birth, right? So why did the church decided to kidnap him? Like, is it because they wanted someone who also had the potential of becoming a hero in their side? Is that why they kidnapped him? Because he was kidnapped from a very young age. Maybe that's why. They like, instead of doing what they did to Shinra by making him get a bad reputation, they decided to bring Sho into their side so that they can use him for their devices. I don't know. Okay, so there you go. So those were the important things that I wanted to talk about. Like, I feel like they gave us a lot of hints today, but at the same time, there's a few things that I feel like still a little bit clue is more, a little bit more context and clues are needed to properly understand. But this is my thoughts about this episode. I might be wrong about a few things. I might be right about a few things. You know, but yeah, but I'm pretty confident in my Soul Eater theory that Soul Eater will happen after this because that will be the new world, and that's why the moon has manifested here. That's what I think. I'm pretty confident in that theory. I might be wrong though. I don't know. Still, it's a theory. So I don't know. Either way, let's wait and see. So yeah, that was this episode. Episode number 15. Now I'm going to talk about episode number 14. Like I said, like I didn't really talk much about it because you know I wanted to discuss the latest episode because it was fresh in my head, and I wanted to properly arrange stuff, and I think I have properly arranged everything, and I think I understand and have a basic understanding of what this world is about and what's going on. Anyways, episode number 14 was Benimaru's like their leader. The Benimaru's like the one who taught Benimaru, the master, the leader of their like group, who wanted Benimaru to understand the weight of human life and what they do, because they have to carry it throughout their life. And this is something that is very important, is like like you have to understand the weight of what you are doing. Like they take human lives, so that will be something that they will have to very carefully understand. If not, they can go in the wrong direction. Like unless and until you understand the weight of human life, as a leader, you not only you might be going in a wrong direction, but you might be leading the people who are following you into a long direction as well. That's why it's very important, if you're a leader, or even if you're not a leader, to understand the weight of what you're doing properly. And uh, and that's what he wanted Benimaru to understand. And that's why he told Benimaru, like told him like, oh, why are you fighting, why are you doing this, like you have to understand, like like well, and we saw like he can like what's his name, Corno, right? He asked Benimaru, like, was that your fight that you suddenly like fought with that kid? That was not your fight, right? And all these things he was asking him, trying to make him understand. And yeah, and as we see later on, there's also another thing they bring up here, is that to be the leader of this group, you have to be a little bit crazy. You know, you have to be a little bit of a eccentric. Otherwise, you won't be able to carry on in this thing. And that's why like all the leaders of here, they have something wrong with them. But that's exactly what they need, because otherwise they will not be able to carry that weight. A normal human being will not be able to carry that weight of so many lives that they're taking, you know. And yeah, and that was like what he wanted to say, you know, what wanted to share with Benimaru and everyone. In the end, he died, obviously, by that kid who resented him for his mother's death. But he knew that someday something like this might have happened, and it happened, and he accepted it in the end. And he was like, yeah, like unless and until uh like you are in our position, you won't be able to understand like what this whole thing, that kid was like, how can people like trust you, how can people look up to you? And he's like, I myself don't know, but it is also because of that reason that we are able to carry on, you know and now that I'm gone, Benimar will surely be able to carry on, because in the end he kind of acknowledged him, as you see with his you know with his technique, when Benimaru was using that technique, and he was like, you know finally understood. And that's when he died. So in a way, he kind of died, and he kind of realized that, yeah, the person who can carry over is there, and I have kind of acknowledged him, which is Benimaru. And so he like he was relieved at the end. But then he came back again, obviously, because the great cataclysm, the doppelganger, and everything. And this time, you can say that Benimaru gave him a proper goodbye. You know, before, like, he just died, like without Benimaru wasn't there, nobody was there. He just died on his lonesome. But this time, he could give him a proper goodbye and a proper farewell. And not only Benimaru, everyone was here. And with his technique at the end, he defeated him. And yeah, and that's when, like, the moon changed, as we saw. It became the Soul Eater moon. Okay, right, and there you go. That was it. And then we had a few other things as well. We had Chrono fighting that big monster thing, which was off screen, I guess. They didn't really show it. Right. And we also had a little bit of like Hibana there as well. Hibana was standing there looking at the craziness that is going on. These two fighting. Yeah, and that is it. So there you go. That was this episode. So episode number 14, episode number 15. Great episodes. Like I said, Soul Eater always had a very interesting like mystery going on, and I think we are like we have at least like went inside the door now. Like, there's like a big door that was closed, the mysterious door where a lot of secrets were hidden. We finally opened the door and we have finally stepped in. I think there's a lot more to come, which will probably make us understand a lot of things. But with the information that we got today, a lot of things make sense, and I can make a lot of speculations. Like I said, the Soul Eater world, I think it comes after this based on what is happening, and all these things. Let's wait and see. We'll probably get more hints from here onwards as well, and we'll probably be able to understand it better and understand what the hell is going on and what's the correlation of this world with Soul Eater world, and a lot of other mysteries will probably be solved. So yeah, let's wait and see. That is it. That was my reaction to episode number 14 and 15 of Soul Eater Season 3. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with 2 more episodes. Like I said, I'm lagging behind. Yeah, until then, goodbye and have a nice day.